And welcome back to the show. The Osborne Association serves families as well as communities and individuals that have been impacted by the criminal legal system. They challenge systems that are rooted in racism, as well as retribution, and also fight for policies and practices to promote true safety, justice, and liberation. We're pleased to have joining with us right now the Vice President of Children, Youth, and Family Services at the Osborne Association. We've got Keisha Boatswain with us. And Keisha, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
And as we talk about the work that you do, obviously very entrenched in dealing with the criminal legal system, criminal justice system, or however you want to pair the two. But for somebody who may not be so familiar about your organization, the work that you do, give us a little insight into the Osborne Association.
Sure, absolutely. So Osborne was founded about 90 years ago by prison reformer Thomas Mott Osborne. And like you mentioned, we work to service individuals, families, communities, those who are currently incarcerated, those who are formerly incarcerated, and their loved ones who have been impacted by the criminal legal system. And we do that through a number of ways, through advocacy, providing support, education, counseling, training, employment readiness, a number of avenues. Mm. We do that in partnership with our internal staff at Osborne and the community based on a series of goals. We want to ensure that communities are strong, healthy, resilient, that folks are able to lead meaningful lives. And we approach everything that we do from a position where people are able to heal from the harm and repair the damage in their lives.
And when we talk about healing, it's very important that healing process that families should be able to, and individuals should be able to occur. I know that you really work hard with the family on that. And so I know one of the things you have is FamilyWorks. And can you share a little bit about FamilyWorks?
Oh, certainly. So FamilyWorks is actually one of my programs, and we work with people who are incarcerated, and we offer them a series of curriculums on parenting, fatherhood, and then there's a third component to that where we bring parenting partners into the prison to work with their loved ones through a course called Connected Couples. In addition to that, the program is quite comprehensive. So we run a number of family visitation sites. They're called family centers, where we engage loved ones who come into the prisons during visits to engage with their parents. We have structured toys and games and structured play in place to support families during those visits.
And when you look at the work that you're doing, sometimes I think that you have better insight than maybe we do on the outside looking. And what are some of the challenges that you're finding among some of the clients that you're serving these days?
So I could start off, one big thing is that families have been impacted by the separation, right? So there is definitely that sense of loss, and we provide with our video visiting program, specifically in our FamilyWorks program, we try to offer that connection and supported visits through a licensed social worker who helps fill the gaps. When you talk about some of our other programs that support older adults, there's always that financial need. Our participants are usually unstable in their housing and their financial resources. So there's so many issues that present. Many have experienced trauma and have mental health challenges that we try to bridge the gap for them as well with our trauma related services. So the primary, we're looking to build and bring stability to their life.
Yeah. And so I know another component that you have is also video visiting and also visiting support. And that's very much necessary these days. Talk to me about the effectiveness of video visiting and what that actually means on the life of both sides.
Right. So video visiting ensures that children and families are connected to their incarcerated loved ones. Our video visiting program um, runs through 11 prisons throughout the state. And what we have are community visitation sites in Brooklyn, the Bronx, Buffalo, Queens, and Manhattan, where families are able to come in with the support of a social worker to engage in a televisit with their incarcerated loved ones. So we do supported services that include engaging with the incarcerated person, helping them work through that visit, working with the family member in the community, prepping them as to what to expect, ways to reconnect, and how to have a smooth visit.
And when that goes on, talk to us about the importance of that because some people say, "Well, why is that so important?" But there is a measure of importance in this.
Oh, absolutely. So this video visiting creates an opportunity for children to stay connected to their parents, right? If you have a parent who is away, incarcerated, this may be the only opportunity for some of them to maintain that relationship, that face-to-face connection, and continue to develop that bond and maintain a close parent-child relationship. Many of these prisons are located hours away from the city, and a video visit is a very good option. There's no cost. We provide services to the families who need transportation to come in, as opposed to a family traveling 7 or 8 hours to a prison upstate. It really helps to continue to strengthen that relationship between parent and child. They can talk about anything during their visit and keep those bonds strong. It builds support and resiliency in the young child to be able to maintain that relationship with the parent.
Yeah. And talk about incarcerated women because there's several challenges that incarcerated women have, and maybe we're not so familiar with. But I know that you do some work in that particular area of helping incarcerated women to be able to uh, deal with both the sentencing and also bridging the gap between themselves, family, as well as community.
Absolutely. We run a program called Family Ties, which is a supportive program for women and their children. Most of our women who are incarcerated at Albion Correctional Facility, we provide them with a parenting course that they go through. There's a big graduation to celebrate them. Throughout the year, we create opportunities for their children and the caregivers of those children to travel up to Albion. We get on a plane, we take them up there, we stay overnight, and we have a big visit at the facility for the parent and child. It is really wonderful to see these mothers interacting with their children in just a calm environment. There's activities for them, and it's really sweet. The children get to see their mothers participate in the graduation for their parenting course. And throughout the year, they have opportunities to engage not only by video visits, the young people are also engaged in recreational activities where they are part of our rec program and our programs for children of incarcerated parents in Brooklyn. It's particularly our Yes Youth Experience Success and our YAC program out of Brooklyn. But about 2 to 3 times a year, we do travel to Buffalo to Albion Prison for these young people to engage with their mothers in a face-to-face visit.
You had mentioned about the Yes program, and I know that's a program that deals with 13 to 15-year-olds. So, could you share with our viewing audience a little bit more about that program and the positive impact it's having?
Oh, absolutely. So, Yes is our youth experience success program. We deal with children whose parents are incarcerated, and these young people are participating in a strong youth development curriculum. They engage with us twice a week on Mondays and Thursdays in different activities, and once a month in an experiential recreational activity. The work that they do is so comprehensive, so much so that these participants in our Yes program, if they maintain an 85 or above average while they're engaged in their high school matriculation, they receive scholarships to the college and university of their choice. So it really is a wonderful opportunity to see these young people receive the support, the counseling, and the training that they need to become successful contributing adults.
You talk about intervening in a person's life at an early age, 13 to 15. And that's pretty important, right? Because that's a time of maturity and decision making and things like that. What are you seeing by way of the impact of that particular program in the lives of your young people?
Oh, I see some of these kids and experience their growth. They may have been withdrawn or shy. Once they have come through the program, they really are confident and aware of self, and they become advocates, and they place legislation in front of our lawmakers, and they really are advocates and triumphs for the cause. They're really vested. As I mentioned, I've seen some of them go off to college and university. I've personally visited with these children. One in particular at Binghamton State last year. So they are thriving and they're doing quite well. They come back, they share, and they're with us for a number of years. So it really is wonderful to see their progression and the growth in their confidence.
So for you, as you look throughout the course of this year, a lot going on the table, a lot of programs that you're dealing with. Talk to us about the plans for this year and how you're looking to make impact.
Well, we look to continue making our impact in our Children, Youth, and Family Services program through our YES and YAC programming. We want to be able to engage our young people who have been impacted by the criminal legal system and a parent's incarceration. We want to make sure that they are supported and receive all of the services that they need as it relates to dealing with their trauma and addressing whatever harm. Also want to make sure that they have the skill sets and the tools needed to be successful citizens um, as they grow.
And I know we haven't had a chance to really talk about this, but I think it's important that we also talk about, the impact of gun violence in our community, because that's something that's so paramount. And when we talk about guns, we find them many times in the hands of young people, and either the hands or either being the victim. But you do have something that deals with gun accountability, and I wanted you to have an opportunity to tell us a little bit about that too.
Oh, absolutely. So, shifting focus from our younger children, we do offer an array of programs out of our Bronx office for young adults. These are young people themselves who have been impacted by the criminal legal system. You are speaking about our BOGAP program, which is our Bronx Osborne Gun Accountability and Prevention Program. In partnership with the Bronx County DA's office, about 4 years ago, we started the planning to build this program out. It is an evidence-based program. It's an alternative to incarceration program that serves young people ages 18 to 30 who have been indicted with an felony gun possession charge in Bronx County. So these young people who are selected for the program come to us for the course of a year, and they are engaged in an intensive program, um, upwards of 20 hours a week, where they are engaged in cognitive behavior therapy, dialectic behavior therapy, which addresses their changes in thoughts to their thought process, changes in their behavior. They go through an evidence based program called Alternative to Violence, where it is a model, it's non confrontational, where they are trained to address conflict. They participate in credible messenger mentoring with a credible messenger who is somebody like them who has a lived history from some of the same communities that they were from to help them through this change process. These young people work with us daily for up to 20 hours a week. They go through job readiness training, they go through hard skills training. We have some young men who have gone on to become certified CDL truck drivers or certified licensed barbers. So, based on what their desire is, we help them through these goals. Once they successfully complete the program now, their felony charge is vacated to a misdemeanor, and they're able to pick up the pieces and move on as successful citizens. We've heard and received so much feedback from our participants about how this program has been a game changer for them. They've developed bonds with their peers. They have a brotherhood that they've never experienced. We've seen young men who had never held relationships with their fathers actively seek out to repair these relationships as they knew that they were becoming fathers themselves. They really put in the work into this program, and it's just I'm proud of it. It's such a delight to see the transformation that takes place. We conducted a couple of focus groups over the course of the year, and the feedback that we received was tremendous. To hear these young men speak about how this program has really changed their lives in terms of their personal accountability, how they've um, how they've made changes, so much to the tune of, these are some young men who are involved in the street where their friends, their peers for years cannot believe the change. So they bring them into program to see what's actually taking place in some of the rooms.
So for people who want to find out more information about the work that you're doing and stay connected, how do they go about doing that?
Oh, absolutely. They could always visit our website for additional information at osborneny.org. And all of our programs will be documented there.
Well, Keisha Boatswain, I want to thank you so much for being with us. A lot of great information about the Osborne work. And listen, continue to keep doing what you're doing, and we're glad that we can have you here on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
All righty, Keisha Boatswain, our guest here on the Social Justice Forum. Listen, don't go anywhere. We're taking a quick break. We'll continue with more coming up right after this.